Canobie Lake Park is my home park, and I have been visiting the Salem, New Hampshire amusement park for almost 3 decades. This family-owned park features a whopping 56 rides, including 4 roller coasters, a handful of water rides, tons of flat rides, and plenty of kids rides. There are also several others that have been removed over the years. In this video, I will count down my top 15 favorite rides and attractions currently at Canobie Lake Park. There are also 2 defunct rides that would have made the list, so I will be sure to note where they would have placed as well. Number 15, Canobie Corkscrew. This was not only the park's first inverting roller coaster, but was also the park's first inverting ride. This is an aero corkscrew relocated from the old Chicago indoor amusement park. The coaster has a great first drop with a very abrupt pop of ejector airtime, and the 2 corkscrews have some great head choppers with the nearby trees, but the coaster is both short and rather jerky, which holds it back. Number 14, Da Vinci's Dream. This is a gorgeous wave swinger with some gardens, rock work, and statues around the attraction. This is a rare model from Wood Amusement Rides and is more forceful than the others out there. You can really feel the blood rush to your feet at the bottoms of the dips, and the ride also delivers a beautiful view of Canobie Lake. Number 13, Over the Rainbow. This Samperla balloon ride is more popular amongst kids than adults, but it's a guilty pleasure of mine. Because of the ride's target audience, the balloons are ridiculously easy to spin, so you can get them rotating at a frightening rate. The centripetal force is so strong that you will feel yourself bending backwards over the seat if you happen to let go of the wheel. Number 12, the Xtreme Frisbee. This Hoos Frisbee is often closed due to mechanical issues, but when it does operate, it's among the park's most popular flat rides. Unlike most Frisbees that focus on airtime, the Xtreme Frisbee focuses more on dizzying spinning and delivers a very long ride cycle. Number 11, Wipeout. This Chance Rides flat ride is a lot of fun. For the first 2/3 of the ride, Wipeout bobs up and down, delivering okay laterals, plus some weak pops of airtime. But the finale is where Wipeout really shines and shows its power. The ride stops bouncing and it spins at its fastest, so the laterals are downright vicious. The ride used to run a far longer cycle in both directions, but Canobie now only operates Wipeout in one direction. Number 10, the Boston Tea Party. This Hopkins Shoot the Chute ride is the wettest ride in New England. The ride is simple but effective. The lift and turn deliver nice views of Canobie Lake, and then the climactic plunge is quite zippy due to the heavy boats. Then the splashdown is visually stunning both on and off ride. The splash is roughly 50 feet tall and it drenches everyone in its path, both riders and onlookers. I don't ride this one too often because it's prudent to bring a change of clothes, but it's just what the doctor ordered on a hot day. And I also have a separate review going into more detail on this soaking ride. Number 9, Canobie Lake Hotel. Yes, I am going to include haunts in this list. The park's annual Halloween event has 2 that are worthy of making this list. The first is Canobie Lake Hotel. This walkthrough is themed to a haunted hotel with some good set pieces, several jump scares, and some interactive scare actors. The only downside is that it is on the short side. Number 8, Star Blaster. This is the park's S&S double shot drop tower. This drop tower stands just 80 feet or 24 meters tall, but it does pack a nice little punch. The ride's launches aren't very forceful, but you do get 2 good pops of airtime on the 2 ascents. The airtime was weaker in 2020 than in past years, so I'm hoping that was just an anomaly and not indicative of how the ride will run going forwards. Number 7, Psychodrome. This is the park's indoor scrambler. Not only does the scrambler run faster than most, resulting in some solid laterals, but it feels like a dance club with the booming music and light effects. The ride no longer uses fog and smoke, but the visuals and sounds take an ordinary flat ride and make it stand out. Now this is where the first defunct ride would have placed, and it would have been Matterhorn, the park's now defunct SDC Flying Bob's Himalaya. The ride operated from 1987 to 2006, but Canobie ran the ride into the ground with how fast they operated it. Unlike most flying bobs rides where you barely swing horizontal to the ground, Matterhorn swung well beyond horizontal. You swung out further than most overbanked turns on roller coasters, and it felt like you were inverting. It was insane. I'm showing pictures of a flying bobs ride I found at Oktoberfest, and that's the only one I've ever ridden that can match Matterhorn's intensity. IceJet now stands in Matterhorn's place, and while it is a similar type of ride, it is operated at a much slower rate. Number 6. Untamed. The park's best steel roller coaster is this Gerstlauer Eurofighter. The ride looks great with its bear-themed cars, ski lodge-themed station, and birch bark painted supports. But unfortunately, it is rather jerky, particularly on the cutbacks and transitions. However, I do really enjoy this coaster for the fantastic ejector airtime on the beyond vertical drop, and the hang time you get on the vertical loop and inline twist. I have a separate review that goes into more detail on Untamed if you're interested in hearing my thoughts. Number 5. Mine of Lost Souls. This is the park's Sally Dark ride themed to a haunted mine. I love the atmosphere of the first half, showcasing a working mine, but the second half is a bit scarier as you're being pursued by the Grim Reaper himself. The ride's effects are a tad dated, but the majority of them are statues or animatronics, which is good to see from a family park like Canobie. Number 4. Turkish Twist. This is the park's most intense flat ride. This is one of the few remaining rotors in North America, and this one was supplied by SDC. And like the Matterhorn, Turkish Twist is run ridiculously fast, spinning riders at a whopping 33 RPM. The sustained Gs are incredible as you're plastered to the wall, and you see that crazy visual of the floor dropping out beneath you. The ride does run a very short cycle, but it's understandable and deliberate given the ride's intensity and propensity for causing guests to toss their cookies. Number 3. Carnivus. This is easily the park's best haunt and one of my favorites anywhere. Themed to an abandoned carnival, this haunt has a freaky atmosphere as you pass by chillingly silent carnival games. And there are plenty of scare actors too. Some genuinely try to scare you. Others engage in witty banter, and I sort of like that more than just trying to be scared. But the ride also includes some funhouse style elements that elevate the attraction, such as a long mirror maze, a claustrophobia room, and a vortex tunnel, and some of these elements also feature scare actors at the same time, which really catch you off guard. Number 2. The Yankee Cannonball. You were probably expecting to see this ride at the top spot, and until 2016, it would have. The ride was retracked by GCI in the 2015 and 2016 seasons, and while this did make the coaster smoother than ever, it's really hard to believe this ride is 90 years old. The power of the airtime was reduced significantly. That being said, it's still a fun classic with some moderate pops of airtime if you're in either the front or back cars, and it's still the most popular ride at Canobie among most guests. I have a separate review going into more detail before and after the retracking. And coming in at number 1 is the Policy Pond Log Flume. This was my favorite ride at Canobie growing up, and it once again is my favorite at the park. This is a wonderful log flume that winds its way through the trees and past some thematic water sprayers. And like any good log flume, this one features a thrilling final plunge that's quite zippy and offers just the right amount of wetness. I have a separate review that goes into more detail, but I still love this ride as much as ever, even after riding it for 3 decades. Now, the Yankee Cannonball at its peak would have claimed the top spot in this list, but there is also another defunct attraction that I like better than any ride currently at Canobie, and that would be the infamous Equinox, the park's KMG Tango that rarely operated. The ride was installed late in the 2012 season, and it was removed after the 2014 season due to extensive mechanical issues. But I was blown away by Equinox the one time I was able to ride it. The ride was an intense, highly disorienting flat that flung me in every direction, all while you're in this weird standing floorless position. Canobie really could use another inverting flat ride, as the Equinox is sorely missed. So those are my top 15 favorite rides and attractions currently at Canobie Lake Park. What is your favorite ride at Canobie? Or thoughts on this list? I would love to hear your thoughts down in the comments. If you enjoyed this countdown, I'd appreciate it if you gave this video a like and you considered subscribing, because there'll be a lot more roller coaster and amusement park videos here at Canobie Coaster. Thanks for watching. And if you want to discuss anything related to Canobie or any other amusement park or roller coaster news, you are more than welcome to join the Canobie Coaster Discord, where you can chat with me or other fans of the channel, and the link is down in the description.